Episode 2 of the Calgary Flames franchise mode here on NHL 25 has arrived. In this video, we are going to get through the 2025 offseason and more, so make sure you guys like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Alright, if you guys missed it, the Minnesota Wild beat the New Jersey Devils in the Stanley Cup. And then also for our team in particular, Nazem Kadri had 47 goals. I think I just brushed past about how impressive that actually is. He honestly might grow to a 90 overall in the offseason. Jonathan Huberdeau had 73, Coronado had 60, and then here is the rest of the team. And then also obviously in net we have Dustin Wolf. And then we went 36, 39, and 7. So apparently also, according to the comments, I'm saying Calgary wrong. Is it Calgary? Calgary. I've literally been to Calgary so many times in my life and I'm saying it wrong. You know, someone help me and tell me how to pronounce it in the comment section. But let's start the NHL entry draft. That's the first deal of business here. And we have a couple picks at the end of the first round. So our first round pick is this one, I'm pretty sure, the 12th overall pick. You know what, it's not even that good of a draft. But then the picks we do have from other teams is number 27 and number 31. Alright, so this is a big offseason for us because we have to determine who is going to be on the team, what is our philosophy, and all of that. And I think the main thing here is going to be shown with Rasmus Andersson. Well, us as the Calgary Flames, we actually have a pretty good team, I won't lie, like a fringe playoff kind of mid team with like some good young players, right? Like Zane Parek's about to be a stud, right? So like we're going to have some good young players, you know, we kind of need to sell high on our players. Only sell them if it's a good offer. Like Tyler Bertuzzi in 2/3, I'm not going to sell Rasmus Andersson for that type of a price. First trade we're going to make here is involving Jake Bean. Because Jake Bean, what are we going to get from keeping Jake Bean? He didn't even play at all. We can get a second round pick from the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think that's the move. So shout out Jake Bean. But he is going to be the first player traded in this retool. I know we got Morgan Frost back in the trade for Kuzmenko and Pelletier, and Morgan Frost is really good friends with Joel Farabee. I know that, but I'm gonna be 100% honest. Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee probably aren't gonna be here when we win a Stanley Cup. Farabee's probably gonna be here, but look, I don't know if Ryan Huska is gonna be our coach of the future, but Morgan Frost does not fit anywhere, bro. That is embarrassing. He also does not play defense or physically. You know, he had 26 points last year in 9 minutes, which is nice, but dog, you had 9 block shots. Like, he's not a bad player per se, but you know what I mean? Like, do I want to pay this guy like 2.5 mil? I don't really know. So we're going to see if this trade goes through. If it doesn't go through, I think there's no point of trading him. But William Dufour is a 77 overall. He's almost NHL ready. He's not going to get the Frost level, but I think the player we pick at 67 and Dufour will get around Frost level, and that's rejected. We might try and that's the most I'm willing to throw in a 6th and Frost to move up to a 3rd round pick, and that trade is accepted. I'm sorry, Morgan Frost, but see ya in Long Island. In terms of player movement, we didn't do much, but that's all we're gonna do. I don't even think we're gonna move up. I think we're just gonna take our 2 picks. You know, we need quantity over quality at this point. We obviously want quality, but we do want quantity as well. Alright, here is in depth how the first round went. Matthew Schaefer went number 1 to the Ducks. Michael Misa went to Utah. James Haggins went to Philadelphia. Porter Martone went to the Sharks. Victor Eklund went to Pittsburgh. Frondell went to Nashville. Caleb Denoyer went to Boston. And then here is the rest of the picks. Roger McQueen falls to 13 and he goes to St. Louis. I guess those injury concerns there. Malcolm Spence teams up with Frondell. Same with Galvis. He goes there. Carter Bear goes to Carolina. To be honest, I was really eyeing Carter Bear, but he went right before us. So if we're taking a forward, Lyndon Lakovic is available. We also have another pick later, so we could go forward there. There's 3 left defensemen at the top. We need a left defenseman. We really need one bad. And there's 3 very good options. Look at the 3 defensemen from far. This guy from the Brandon Wheat Kings, you know, he's a WHL prospect. He has 2 years until he's NHL ready. I think that's perfect for our team, right? The only problem is he's a bit small and he's an offensive defenseman, and we got him in the Boston rebuild. So like, I know he's a franchise, or was he elite low? I forgot. Alright, I think I've made my decision and I'll go over the reasoning later. But with the 27th pick in the 2025 NHL entry draft, the Calgary Flames are going to be selecting out of Poland Aiden Haynes from the SK. Wait, what? Huh? Okay, there he is. So he's not medium elite. That's unfortunate. We did pass up on an elite low player, but I mean, look at his skating, look at his physicality, look at his defense. I think this is a guy we can put alongside Zane Parekh. And even if we don't put him alongside Zane Parekh, this is a guaranteed NHLer. Unless we screw up his development so much, this is a guaranteed NHLer, and we like to see that. Okay, so like Patharana here, I mean, he's an offensive defenseman. He's franchise low. You never know if they're going to grow. This is an NHL player. Yeah, Kotavari is obviously a way worse pick than this. I don't think there's that much difference. I mean, a 78 at 18 with medium top 4. This guy can grow to like an 85 overall. Obviously, Patharana's ceiling is way higher. I mean, it's fine. Like, I think that was a perfect pick next to Zane Parekh. We also got Patharana in the Boston rebuild. We don't need him. And I think there's a very obvious pick with our 31st pick in the NHL entry draft. We passed on one project. It's time to take another. We're going to take out of the St. John's Sea Dogs of the QMJHL, Zachary Morin. Welcome to the Calgary Flames. And he is a franchise low. Oh my god, what the hell just happened? Bro, what just happened? I was literally just simming the rest of the draft. There's Ivan Ryabkin going, another elite low. Kayshawn Atchison goes there. Adam Banak. There's another elite low to Vegas. I don't know who the hell this guy is. Is this guy a real prospect? Let me know. But Terrence DeMello, what the hell? That pick I've ever had on this channel, bro. What? 79 overall elite low? I almost simmed I almost just simmed the rest of the draft, because like realistically you're never gonna find it. A 79 elite low sniper, Terrence DeMello. That's insane. That might have been the greatest draft in the history. Here is how the first round went. But we got, wait, let's go back to our team. We got Aiden Haynes, who's going to be an NHLer. Zachary Morin, franchise low. DeMello's an NHLer with elite low. And then Visakis was a top 6 low. I think that was a perfect draft. Alright, so we're at the re-sign phase. I was thinking of bringing Vladar back, but I feel like he didn't play well last year. You know, maybe that was just because of the team in front of him. But, I mean, we can always re-sign him in free agency. Kevin Ball is a guy I would like to bring back. You know, $3 million is a price I'm willing to pay over 3 years. He's a tall, shutdown defenseman. I think that's good. But Joel Hanley wants $2.3 million. You can go get it somewhere else, buddy. But we're also going to sign our boy Aiden Haynes here to his entry-level deal. Anthony Mantha, you know, I wasn't going to sign him originally, but this dude has 90 speed and an absolutely wicked shot, so he can come back, and he's only 30 years old. And then Matt Coronado here wants a long-term deal. You absolutely love to see it. I'm thinking like a solid, you know, like 4.75 over 6 years. I think that one works for me perfectly. Our entry-level contract as well to Terrence DeMello, you know, whether these guys play NHL or AHL, those two rookies are going to be absolutely nasty on our team. And then Connor Zary here doesn't want a long-term deal, but I'm fine with $3 million over 2 years, a bridge deal for Connor Zary. Oh man, Matt Coronado rejected. That is really unfortunate. Hopefully he doesn't want an absolute bag now. He does want the exact same contract. I think we're going to go up to $5 million here because I want Matt Coronado on this team badly. Okay, so Matt Coronado has been rejecting our offers. I think we're just going to go 5x5, and hopefully Matt Coronado accepts that one, and he is willing to do a 5x5 kind of short-term but long-term deal. So we are at the re-sign phase here, and our captain, Michael Backlund, does not want to come back to our team. That is very unfortunate, but somebody who does is Rasmus Andersson. Now, we could look to trade him, but we also could look to re-sign him. I think we're going to look at trades first, just in case, but we're probably going to re-sign him in the end. The fact that it's hard enough to get players to re-sign in these, not big, not that big on a global stage, Western Canadian markets, I think this is a perfect opportunity to make a statement signing. We're going to go 6x6 with Rasmus Andersson, and we're going to throw that contract at him, and hopefully he signs that. In free agency, we need a backup goalie, a left shot defenseman, and then also like a depth centerman. So I think that what we're going to do here is re-sign our boy Dan Vladar here. I mean, he wants to come back. That's not too much money. We need to hit the cap floor anyways. Or depth centerman, I think we're going to go here for Isaac Lundstrom. It's 1.6 million. It's not even that much, and Isaac Lundstrom straight away accepts. Now, for our left shot defenseman, I was looking at Pierre-Olivier Joseph. I was looking at Zach Jones. But then I went to RFAs and I saw like a bunch of really good RFAs, but one guy in particular very interested in joining the Calgary Flames, and that is Bowen Byram. He actually pitched me this idea in the trade finder. It is Daniil Miramanov, who has 1 year left, but he's a right shot defenseman, a heavy hitter, a pretty good skater for his size. And I think, the Buffalo Sabres would love him. I'd love to keep him. They also wanted Dan Vladar. I don't really want to give up Dan Vladar. Also, I don't know why. It just pisses me off when when they say you shouldn't trade away players that you just signed. But I think that's fair enough. You don't just sign a guy and then just trade him 2 seconds later, you know what I'm saying? But I think giving up a guy like Jeremy Poirier, a guy with potential, and another RFA, he's going to be a lot cheaper than Byram, so we're giving them a way better trade package than they offered in the trade finder. I think this is a trade I'd be willing to do. I wonder if the Calgary Flames would be willing to do it. Where is Bowen Byram from, actually? So Bowen Byram's from British Columbia, but you know what, it's close enough. It's one province over. Bowen Byram is an incredible skater. He's an incredible all-around defenseman. He was very raw. He's really rounded himself out. Now he's looking for a big payday. Buffalo already has 3 left shot defensemen. I think we are a team that needs a left shot defenseman. I think it's a perfect match. Can go there and honestly play on their top pair and do really well with Dahlin. He can play with power. He can play on your third line. He costs 1.25 versus the 5 mil we're gonna have to give Byram. So I'm willing to offer this trade over. Hopefully Calgary Flames fans are okay with it too. Are we getting Bowen Byram? Yes, we are. Bowen Byram is a Calgary Flame. Is the asking price by Bowen Byram? It's 5 mil over 6 years. Okay, I can do that. I can work with that. I think we're going to try and crank this up to 8. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, we could give him a 12-team no trade. That's fine with me. Let's see if we can go up to 5.5. I think this is a very fair deal. We want to lock up Byram long term. I know it's stupid to lock up a guy who never played for your team, but this is the risk we have to take. In Calgary, we're not going to get that many superstar players, right? So I think this is a big trade for us. Bowen Byram, at 5.5, we're going to have Andersson at 6. I think that's insane, we have a lot of bad contracts. Bowen Byram's only 24. I believe in this guy very much. So I think we're going to offer this contract to him. Hopefully he accepts. The thing we really have to look into is Ryan Huska. Is he going to be the coach of the future? Because I don't know, he has 1 year left. I think we're going to keep him for this year because he is a teacher. We are going to have a couple young players. I feel like quite a few, but he doesn't fit well with that many of our players. So I don't think he's the coach of the future, but we're going to keep him for now. Right? The only thing left to do is see if Bowen Byram and Rasmus Andersson sign. Bowen Byram does sign 8 times 5.5. What is that, $44 million contract for a former top 5 pick. And Rasmus Andersson signs as well. So we have Uyghur, Andersson, and Byram locked up for at least the next 6 years. It seemed like a pointless trade, but Pachal here, I'm sure the boys love him in the locker room, but like, bro, this guy has 1-star senses, 2-star puck skills, and it's not like the core of our team is together. You know what I'm saying? When the core is together, we don't trade these depth guys. But Travis Dermott and Burrows here, I feel like they could fill out the bottom pair for us, and we have to give up a 6th. We have a lot of players here on the Calgary Wranglers that I'm excited about. Terrence DeMello, our 2nd-round pick, already playing in the AHL. I mean, he has Make It Snappy. It looks like he's a great skater, has a great shot. So hopefully he can rip it up in the AHL. Same with Samuel Honzek, our 1st-round pick from 2023. Just an all-around stud. Andrew Basha is down here as well. You know, played for the Medicine Hat Tigers. And then we obviously have Haynes, but then we have Hunter. I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name. Here is your Calgary Flames, fellas. Let's go. So we have Jonathan Huberdeau, obviously. We have Nakadri and Coronado. These was our first line last year. Our second line has changed a bit. Sharon Govich is jumping there. Zary and Farabee, that's going to be our second line. Blake Coleman's down to an 81, lost all his X Factors. Obviously, we have Captain Backy there, and then Mantha. A bunch of absolute beauties. On defense, we have Byram and Beaker on our top pair, Anderson and Ball on our second pair, and even though they get a -1, I think playing Zane Perek where he needs to be played is an absolute no-brainer. +5, so that is sick. But the number 2 unit is a -3. You know what though? I don't really care about the minuses and pluses because I don't think Ryan Huska is going to be our coach next year. I mean, we have to see, but I highly doubt it. Dustin Wolf has hit an 88 overall medium franchise. So that is absolutely sick. He is up for an extension this year, I think. So that is sick. Me how this team is going to do, or like what are my expectations for the season. Honestly, I have absolutely no clue. So we'll see what they do. They project us finishing kind of middle of the pack, so that's interesting. But our forward are still E's, but now our top prospects and our prospects in general are strengths, so we'll take that. Our defense is down to a D, which is very interesting, but our goaltending is up to a B-. Figure out how this season's going to go, and it's going to start with an all-American goaltending matchup, Knight versus Wolf, Flames versus Blackhawks. We have a 91 offense, 87 defense, and 90 goaltending. Let's see how game number 1 goes against Mitch Marner, Connor Bedard, and the Chicago Blackhawks. Into that game, that got me thinking, who has moved teams? And Zeev Boyum is on the Columbus Blue Jackets. We have to check who went back to the Minnesota Wild, but that is insane. And then Claude Giroux is also here. They drafted Logan Hensler. Columbus is an absolute wagon. Finland has left the Dallas Stars and signed with the LA Kings for 6x4. So the Wild, looks like, oh my goodness, they traded Boone Jenner for Zeev Boyum. That is an absolute embarrassment. Oh my god. There's a couple teams who made some big moves. The Seattle Kraken are one of them. They signed Brock Besser in free agency. He goes to Seattle for $9 million over 7 years. That is crazy. Patrick Kane signs with Macklin Celebrini and the San Jose Sharks. $9.6 million over 1 year. The Philadelphia Flyers signed Brad Marchand for $9 million over 1 year, which is very interesting. And the Montreal Canadiens used our draft pick to take this guy, Marcio Baldwin. That one hurts. I actually jump into our game here against Mitch Marner, Connor Bedard, and the Chicago Blackhawks. Welcome, boys, to Season 1 of the Calgary Flames franchise mode, and we are underway here in Chicago. Sit down, Nazem Kadri. Hell just happened, bro. Look at this. Look at this. So we get the puck from Reichel. Travis Dermott takes it, and the puck goes up to Anthony Mantha and boomerangs right back to Travis Dermott. That is the greatest pass in NHL history. First game in the books. I am impressed with what I'm seeing. You know, we haven't been dominating play. You know, I feel like we're not very skilled team. So in the offensive zone, we struggle to create. But, you know, we have a great defensive structure, and we lay the boom, boys. We absolutely lay the boom. Here's Sharangovich into the zone. Sharangovich shooting. Oh my god, Igor Sharangovich gets the first goal of the season. Let's go, baby. Oh, losing that game 7-1, so that is not good. So a couple takeaways. This might be a tank year for the fellas, which, you know what? That is completely fine. I think it's okay to be able to tank at this stage, right? But then another takeaway, pretty solid defensive team. And then also, I mean, Dustin Wolf is injured. That never helps. But Zane Perek is going to be an absolute superstar one day. I am telling you right now. 1 month, the Calgary Flames are 1-7-2. We are in the basement. I did not expect us to be this bad of a team. We cannot score a goal to save our life. We are allowing way too many. Our power play is 7%, and our penalty kill is 64%. Wolf has an 8-3-3. I don't even know what to do. Like, I don't even know what to do, boys. We are absolutely cooked. Ryan Huska yet, but I'm gonna fire our goalie coach and our penalty kill coach and try and pick up better players. We are 32nd, 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 and 30th. But now we have Dustin Wolf back. I know he did not play well to start the year, but we have a new goalie coach. Honestly, I'm thinking of firing our power play coach as well, and then eventually Ryan Huska if nothing fixes itself. We're going to play this random game against Carolina and see if we can somehow turn this ship around. Huberdeau in, Jonathan Huberdeau. Oh my goodness, Jonathan Huberdeau. What a nip. This guy is an absolute stud for 10.5 mil. Best contract in the NHL. Swinging around for Huberdeau. Jonathan Huberdeau back in the net. Huberdeau to Michigan. That one's off. Huberdeau gonna walk out front. Jonathan Huberdeau. Oh my god. This guy is nasty. Jonathan Huberdeau, baby. Let's go. My goodness. Blake Coleman is injured with a herniated disc, and he is out for 4 months. So Ryan Lomberg's gonna pop right in his spot. Apparently has a perfect fit. That is complete cap, but he's not that bad. I think we're just gonna swap Lomberg and Hunt there, or Pospisil or something. My goodness, we are 7-15-2, boys. I don't think that's good. We might be the worst team in the NHL this year. Our scoring's not awful, but our defense is absolutely god-awful. It's gotten better with the new coach, I will say that. I think also our power play might be the worst in the league. Maybe it's time to fire that coach. Maybe it's just time to fire everybody, to be honest, because we are getting absolutely destroyed right now. Faith, what's your name? Aiden Faith. Dude, did we not just draft a guy named Aiden Faith? No, that was Aiden Haika. No, I forgot. But yeah, that guy's getting absolutely fired, and we are going to hire this guy right here, Subban. A+ power play, A+ penalty kill. Brent Subban is going to be an absolute beast on this team. Alright, so today is our first Battle of Alberta of the season, and Jonathan Huberdeau is getting our scoring boost, so that is perfect. But I mean, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath in this series. Honestly, the rivalry is not the same as it was a couple years ago when Calgary was good and Edmonton was good, but hopefully we can bring it back to that point, because the Oilers aren't going to be bad anytime soon. Here's Lundstrom, Isaac Lundstrom into the zone. Isaac Lundstrom gonna cut into the backhand. Oh my goodness. Fuck you, Edmonton. Let's go, baby. Isaac Lundstrom at 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? We scored a goal. We got 20 hits on the Oilers. There was barely any time on attack in that game, but Isaac Lundstrom, out of all people, scored the goal. 4-1 loss. That is absolutely incredible, fellas. But let's just get to the end of January, man. Get to the end of the season, you know what I'm saying? But we need to get to January 1st because we need to see Dustin Wolf's contract extension. But the Seattle Kraken are somehow worse than us. We do not score that many goals. We score more than the Kings and Sharks, though. We allow way too many goals. Our power play has gotten a full % better since hiring Subban, and our PK's gotten way better since hiring our other coach, so shout out to those guys. Save percentage is still not where we want it to be, but it's gotten a lot better since the start of the year, so we will definitely take that. On defense, Mackenzie Weir, 25 points, -10, we'll take that. Bowen Byram, 14 points, a -3. You know what, that's not awful. He's about to pass his point total from last year in Buffalo, so that's sick. Zane Varek has 12 points as a rookie. Anderson is a +2. Kevin Ball is a +6. And Huberdeau is 32 and 38. Joel Farabee on that second line. Looks like the second line's doing incredible. The first line is not doing great. Kadri is a -13. Our third line's doing pretty well as well, so it's basically our first line and our fourth line in terms of forward lines that are selling us. Matt Coronado is now a medium elite, signed at 5 mil. These are the risks you take, boys. 5x5, and he's a medium elite. That is absolutely perfect. But in the next episode, we will have all these guys to trade. Backlund, you know what I'm saying, Coleman, and then if we want to trade some of our veterans, now is the time, you know what I'm saying? If we get a great price, we're not going to say no. But we have Dustin Wolf's extension. How much is it? Find out in the next episode.